What's stopping you from becoming everything you were born to be? Is it where you come from? Is it what people said about you? Or is it the story you've been telling yourself? Because if you think you've got too much pain, too many scars, too many reasons why life didn't hand you a fair shot, then let me introduce you to Oprah Winfrey. Not the billionaire, not the global icon. I'm talking about little Oprah Gail Winfrey. The girl who wore potato sacks because her grandmother couldn't afford dresses. The girl who was told she was too black, too poor, too emotional. The girl who suffered abuse, rejection, and unimaginable pain long before she ever held a microphone. Oprah didn't begin life on a stage. She began life in survival mode. Born in 1954 in rural Mississippi, she grew up in poverty. Raised by her grandmother, then bounced from one broken home to another. She was molested at age 9, pregnant by 14. Her son died in infancy. Most people don't recover from one of those tragedies. She endured them all. She lived in a time when racism was openly accepted and opportunities for women of color were nearly non-existent. Yet even in those early days, Oprah found sparks of strength in unlikely places, in the Bible verses she read at church, in the stories she told her dolls, and in the deep voice that would one day shake the world. And still, she rose. Because Oprah didn't just live through pain. She used it to develop empathy, used it to find her voice, used it to speak to millions. You think you're broken? So did she. But she turned those cracks into windows and let the light shine in for the rest of the world. This isn't a story about television. This is a story about transformation. Because if Oprah could rise from where she started, what's stopping you? Let's go deeper. Growing up, Oprah found her safe place in a small church, reading scriptures aloud, developing a powerful voice far beyond her years. It wasn't just talent, it was healing. She found her voice through the pain, through the silence others forced upon her. She was a young girl in Mississippi with nothing but her voice, her imagination, and her dreams. But that voice earned her local recognition. She won oratorical contests, read the news at a local radio station, and realized she had the power to move people. By age 16, Oprah had landed her first radio job. At 19, she became the first black female news anchor at Nashville's WLAC-TV. But that milestone wasn't met with open arms. She faced rejection, racism, and harsh criticism. People told her she was too emotional, too raw, too different to be taken seriously in hard news. She was demoted from the anchor desk for letting her feelings show. But what others saw as weakness, Oprah saw as her superpower. That emotion, the very thing they tried to silence, would become her greatest strength. It was what allowed her to connect, to listen, to understand. She realized she didn't need to be someone else. She just needed to be her. When she stepped into her truth, everything changed. That's your lesson. You don't need to be louder. You need to be you. Your authenticity is your authority. In a world that rewards performance, be the person who shows up with presence. Because when you honor who you are, the world begins to listen. In 1984, Oprah took a leap and moved to Chicago to host a failing talk show called AM Chicago. It was a huge risk. She had no guarantees, no certainty of success. But what she had was her voice and the courage to use it. And use it she did. Within months, AM Chicago skyrocketed to the top of the ratings. Oprah didn't just interview her guests, she felt them. She gave them space. She gave them dignity. And for the first time in daytime TV, audiences didn't feel like they were watching a show. They felt like they were being seen. In 1986, The Oprah Winfrey Show launched nationally. It ran for 25 years, became the highest-rated talk show in American history, and revolutionized daytime television. Oprah tackled everything: addiction, abuse, infidelity, mental illness, spirituality. But she didn't do it to exploit. She did it to elevate, to take taboo topics and wrap them in grace. To say, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You matter. She brought vulnerability to the mainstream. She made self-help a movement. She transformed TV from entertainment to empowerment. And here's the magic. She didn't do it by being the loudest voice. She did it by being the most honest. That's your takeaway. You don't need a platform. You need a purpose. And when your purpose is rooted in truth, your platform will find you. Don't just dream of success. Define what success feels like and build your life around that. Even as Oprah became a cultural phenomenon, she never stopped growing. She launched a book club that made unknown authors bestsellers overnight. She started her own magazine, The Oprah Magazine, one of the most successful women's publications ever. She acted in powerful films like The Color Purple and earned critical acclaim. She signed multi-million-dollar deals, built Harpo Studios, and became one of the most influential media moguls in history. But even Oprah hit resistance. In 2011, she took the biggest leap of her career, launching her own network, OWN. The beginning was rough. Ratings were low. The media called it a failure. People said she was past her prime. But Oprah didn't flinch. She doubled down. She refined the programming, brought in new leadership, listened to feedback, and reconnected with her audience. And in time, OWN found its identity. It became a space for spiritual conversations, deep interviews, and transformational storytelling. Because Oprah knows. Failure isn't fatal. It's feedback. And reinvention is not an option. It's a necessity. That's your lesson. Stop fearing failure. Start using it. Your next level will only reveal itself once you outgrow the current one. Don't cling to what worked. Cling to what's calling you. As Oprah's platform expanded, so did her mission. She didn't just want to change conversations, she wanted to change lives. In 2007, she opened the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, giving bright young women from underprivileged backgrounds access to elite education, mentorship, and a chance to lead. Her philanthropy reached far beyond headlines. She donated over $400 million to educational causes, created scholarships, built schools, and supported countless community programs. But more than money, she gave her presence. She listened to survivors. She advocated for truth. She stood up for justice. And in everything she touched, she led with intention. Because true leadership isn't about being the face. It's about being the foundation. Oprah's legacy is not her wealth. It's the millions of lives she empowered. That's your final major lesson. Impact isn't about how loud you are. It's about how long your light shines. Don't just make noise. Make meaning. And remember, you don't need billions to build a legacy. You need boldness. You need belief. You need the decision to start. Today. So what now? You've heard her pain, her power, her pivots, her purpose. You've seen how a girl from Mississippi, abused and silenced, became one of the greatest communicators the world has ever known. But this isn't about her. It's about you. Where are you holding back? What lie are you still believing? That you're not enough? That it's too late? That your past disqualifies you? Stop. Right now. Because Oprah Winfrey's life proves one thing. Nothing disqualifies you if you decide to rise. This is your wake-up call. This is your turning point. This is your moment. Don't scroll away. Don't go back to sleep. Hit subscribe now, because we're building a movement. A tribe of dreamers, fighters, and doers who believe that every scar can become a story. And share this with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who's forgotten who they are. Someone who just needs a reminder that they still have time. Because we rise higher when we rise together. And if Oprah could turn pain into purpose, trauma into triumph, so can you. Now go rise.